Before he was The Rock, before the fame, before the Hollywood lights, there was a young man named Dwayne Douglas Johnson. A man who knew what it meant to have nothing. A man who slept on a mattress taken from the trash, whose family was evicted from their apartment, and who once carried just $7 in his pocket. But somehow, that man would rise to become one of the most recognizable and beloved figures on earth. A global icon of strength, resilience, and positivity. This is the untold story of The Rock. Dwayne Johnson was born on May 2nd, 1972 in Hayward, California. He was born into wrestling royalty, the son of Rocky Johnson, a charismatic Canadian professional wrestler, and the grandson of Peter Maivia, a Samoan wrestling pioneer. But the spotlight doesn't always bring light. Behind the glitz of wrestling, the Johnson family struggled, moving constantly, chasing opportunity, barely getting by. By age 15, Dwayne had lived in 13 different states. He watched his parents argue over bills and food. He saw his mother cry after they were evicted from their tiny apartment in Honolulu. That moment, he says, changed him forever. It planted something deep inside him, promised that one day, he would never let his family feel that kind of pain again. As a teenager, Dwayne was angry, big, strong, but lost. He was arrested multiple times for fighting, theft, and check fraud. Teachers wrote him off. But there was one man who refused to give up on him, his high school football coach, Jody Swick. He saw potential where others saw trouble. With Swick's help, Dwayne turned things around and earned a football scholarship to the University of Miami, one of the most elite programs in the country. In 1991, he won a national championship with the Hurricanes. He was strong, fast, and focused, the NFL was calling. But fate had other plans. A series of devastating back injuries ended his football career before it ever truly began. The Canadian Football League cut him after just 2 months, and that's when he hit rock bottom. He was 23 years old, broke, living in his parents' small apartment. And when he checked his wallet, there were only $7 inside. That number 7 would stay with him for the rest of his life. One night, sitting alone in that apartment, Dwayne made a decision. He looked at himself in the mirror and said, "I'm not going to be here forever. I don't know how, but I'm going to be something." So, he did the only thing he knew. He followed the family legacy and entered the world of professional wrestling. At first, no one took him seriously. In 1996, when he debuted in WWE as Rocky Maivia, fans booed him relentlessly. You could hear crowds chanting, "Die, Rocky, die." It was supposed to be his big break instead. It was complete humiliation. But Dwayne didn't quit, he reinvented himself. He dropped the fake smile, dropped the scripted character, and started speaking as himself, confident, witty, and absolutely electrifying. And just like that, The Rock was born. By 1998, The Rock wasn't just a wrestler, he was a phenomenon. He brought a level of showmanship, humor, and charisma that no one had ever seen before. He didn't just play the part, he owned it. Fans adored him, and soon he was selling out arenas all around the world. He won multiple WWE championships, but more importantly, he connected with millions of people who saw in him something real, a fighter who turned his pain into power. What many don't know is that even at the height of his wrestling fame, Dwayne was quietly studying, watching camera angles, learning storytelling, timing, and body language. He was preparing for something bigger, something beyond the ring. When The Rock first tried to enter Hollywood, studios laughed. Wrestlers didn't become actors. They were seen as too big, too unrealistic, too fake. But Dwayne had a plan. He took small roles, learned the craft, and kept improving. Then came The Scorpion King in 2002. It made over $165 million worldwide and made him the highest paid first-time leading actor in Hollywood history. From there, he never looked back. Over the next 2 decades, Dwayne Johnson transformed himself from a wrestler into one of the most bankable stars in cinema, starring Fast and Furious, Jumanji, Mona, Black Adam, and dozens more. But behind the fame, he stayed grounded, waking up at 4 a.m., working out every single day, never forgetting the boy who once had just $7 in his pocket. What most people don't know about Dwayne Johnson is that behind his megawatt smile, he has battled depression for years. He has spoken openly about his dark moments, losing football, losing his dream, and almost losing himself. He once said, "I didn't want to do a thing. I didn't want to go anywhere. I was crying constantly." But instead of hiding it, he used his experience to inspire others, becoming a symbol of emotional strength as well as physical power. He built 7 Bucks Productions, a company named after that moment of rock bottom. Through it, he produces films, series, and documentaries that tell powerful stories of hope, struggle, and second chances. Despite the fame, the money, and the success, Dwayne often says his greatest joy is being a father. He calls his 3 daughters his anchors, the real reason he works so hard. His Samoan heritage remains central to who he is. Every tattoo, every word of gratitude, every gesture of respect echoes his deep roots. He still calls his mother every day. He still trains like an underdog. And he still believes that success isn't about what you have it, about who you become while you reach chasing it. There's a phrase Dwayne repeats often: be the hardest worker in the room. It's not just a quote, it's his life. Because his story isn't really about wrestling or Hollywood. It's about work. Relentless, unglamorous, grinding work, and the powerful belief that no matter how many times you fall, you can always rise again. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's journey is a reminder that greatness isn't given, it's built. Built from heartbreak. Built from pain. Built from $7. And maybe that's why, after all these years, people still love him. Because he's not just The Rock. He's proof that you can build a mountain even when you start from the very bottom. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.